This is an outline of my entire 1.2 million follower social media business, and these are the underlying workflows that power it. In the past, I used to do everything myself. When it came to video production, I used to come up with the ideas, I used to script everything, I used to edit everything, and then I used to analyze the data myself. When it came to deal procurement and business development, I used to identify prospects myself. I used to plan for calls myself, negotiate myself, even create the pitch decks and the PDFs myself. And between every single step, I used to be involved. But what I've really focused on over the past year is transferring every single workflow that I manually do into an AI system. And I believe today I'm going to bring you the best video that you have ever seen about actually automating your work. This applies to people that either want to automate tasks in business, or it also applies to people if they want to automate things across their daily lives. What I've actually done is I've created a bunch of these interactive HTML mind maps, which I'm going to show you how to build them today to detail every single process in the business. I have a business folder which sits on my computer, which has the exact spec for every single workflow across the business. So I've effectively cloned myself. Every process that was in my head, I've cloned into an AI system which does work for me. I'm going to show you how to build the exact same thing today. I'm going to show you how you can go from manual work to complete autonomous work, and I'm going to show you how you can build the context and memory system for your AI to help you automate your workflows, because that's actually the most important thing when it comes to automating work with AI. So if you like content like this where I help you get the edge in AI, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. We only drop bangers here on the channel. And without further ado, let's get into things. So by now, maybe you've tried the Obsidian Second Brain, maybe you've tried Notion, maybe you've just tried keeping your task lists on Google Docs or Notes, but you'll probably notice a lot of these manual systems, although they might work through sheer brute force, for a few days or a few weeks, they're really, really hard to stick to. And whenever you're utilizing AI to help with these systems, you're constantly having to re-explain yourself. So the process I'm going to take you through today will create a system that automatically evolves over time, so you never need to do any manual work keeping it up to date. And I'm going to show you how to build a system once and for all with AI that you can build upon and stick to. Because most people, they have all these tasks in their head. Your brain is basically like a storage unit. It stores all the understanding of how to complete a process in its head. For example, whether I'm cognizant of it or not, when I create videos or analyze competitors, my brain is thinking, oh, that's a good video, oh, that's an outlier video. But really what I want to do is I want to teach the AI why it's an outlier video, why it's standing out to me, why I think that makes a good piece of content. Because your brain is really just its own algorithm that's created these thoughts based on data and pattern recognition. The AI can do the exact same thing. You just need to spell it out. So in order to get here, where every single workflow in the business, and I'll explain this in more depth later, is automated by AI, firstly, we need to go through a process of knowledge compression, where you take the knowledge out of your brain, you condense it into a series of files. Then I'm going to show you how to take those markdown files, which the AI agents can read, and create visual maps so you can visualize processes in your business, and so other agents can visualize processes in your business. And then I'm going to show you how to get agents to actually run it. But using agents is the easy part. It's as simple as using Claude Code, or even Cowork, or even GPT. But the hard part is this step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to make that easy for you today. So the first thing that you need to do is an audit. The AI is going to interview you, and you are going to explain every single workflow, put it on the table, and then it's going to log every workflow and create a filing system for those workflows. So I have the prompt. It'll be available as well as the entire starter kit from today's video for free in the description below. The role of this prompt is going to interview you to map every single reoccurring workflow in your life. Now, you probably won't think of every single thing off the top of your head. That's okay. We're just trying to create a base here. Once we have the base of the major workflows, then obviously over time, you can use the same process to add to your workflow library. So you can see now it's already asked my first question. Chances are the AI already knows something about you. If you're using a new AI, then you need to give it context from scratch. What I recommend is, if you are starting a new AI, or I still really recommend that people do this anyway, is that you do one session where you just brain dump and create a context file of everything about your business or yourself. Because if you're going to switch AIs in the future, you want a document which has your entire profile. So you can see here I have a markdown file, which is my entire business profile. What my business is, what my goals are, what the business does, and how I operate in the business and all my employees. It's a file that just self-evolves and updates over time. So if you haven't done that already, create that so the AI actually has a starting place to ask you questions, and then go on with this process, which is the prompt. So you're essentially going to take everything you do, from planning to meetings, invoices, client calls, emails, etc. If it's a recurring task, the AI is going to ask you 4 questions. So what is the trigger? What are the steps and the tools that you need to use to execute that task? How often do you complete that task? And then it's going to give it a score. This score is going to judge to what extent a task can be cloned or automated, and to what extent it can't be automated. Because remember, most tasks are actually a set of steps. So this deal flow pipeline, for example, that I've created, you could call this, landing a deal. But in reality, landing a deal is broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different processes. So sometimes you could see here, there are things that the AI can't automate. The AI genuinely can't automate the final negotiation. It can't automate the fit check. I need to make sure a sponsor's right for my brand. It can't automate the delivery. I still need to create content. But what it can do is it can do everything in between. So what you're trying to do is break down a process that you might think of as just one thing, but actually break it down into a series of micro steps. Even something like writing a tweet. It seems like it's only one thing, but in reality, it's 10 things. Writing a tweet is okay. You do the hook first. The hook has to be good. You need to source the idea. How do you go about sourcing the idea? You got to scroll through your bookmarks. You might have notes saved of certain ideas you want to execute. Then you need to write the body. Depending on the tweet subject, the body might be longer or the body might be shorter. Then you need a CTA. Then you get the point. It's not just writing a tweet. There's actually a variety of steps in your head that you probably haven't even recognized that you have that can be divided up into a series of workflows. Now, maybe the final say is done by you on every tweet. Maybe the final hook is done by you, but maybe AI can slot into a part of the process. Maybe it can give you hook ideas. Then maybe it can refine the grammar of the body. And then maybe it can score your tweet based on your predefined variables of what you think makes a good tweet. So you see how one thing can be broken up into multiple steps. That is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to work out how replicatable a workflow is by AI. We're going to give it a score, and then we're going to break it down into a flow like you see here. So after you've gone through the process, what is going to be created is a spreadsheet. I just imported this into Google Sheets with all of the things that I do. And these are just examples. Obviously, it's not every single thing that I do. With the hours it takes me a month, the repeatability, 1 to 5, the judgment it requires, and a clone score. The clone score is the hours per month that it takes and the repeatability. So the more time something is eating, the more you need to prioritize cloning it. So I would start with video production, for example, then content repurposing for this example, then research, etc., etc. Obviously, for you, it's going to look different. Maybe it's something within your job. Maybe it's something within your life. But what's very important is that you're honest with the answers, because this is going to help you prioritize what to automate. So the purpose of the audit is to find out the things that you need to automate. And you can keep this tracker over time and keep adding to it using AI based on new things that crop up or based on things that lose priorities. And if you want to keep it simple and all in one place, you can even create a column on the right with the links to the HTMLs with the exact workflows that you track. And you can even deploy these as websites if you want on Versal, or you can keep them local, whatever you want to do. So now what we need to do is we need to take each workflow and break it down in the easiest possible way into a spec, a workflow that becomes a file that agents can actually run. Now, there are a few ways you can do this. If you go into Cowork, which is better for the example of this video because you want to have it connected to the exact folder. By the way, GPT can do the same thing, so it doesn't matter what you're using. I just personally use Claude. I think it's slightly better for my use cases, especially because I do a lot of graphic and visual stuff, which I feel like Claude's a bit better at. But you can use either. But for the example of this video, I'll use Claude. What you can do is you can use the skill creator firstly. So if you are able to explain the exact process, so for example, if you're able to explain exactly how you script a video, then you can just go ahead and use Whisperflow, which is how I transcribe. And I'll say, hey, this is how I do the YouTube process. I'll walk you through step by step. Ask me some questions about the process so you better understand exactly what I do. And we'll just go back and forth and we'll use the skill creator to create a skill. Then you can download that skill and have a skill library that you store in your filing system. Obviously it's in Claude, but if you want to own it, because these basically become like assets for yourself or for your business. These are real workflows that you use. This is one way to do it. But the way that I've really been toying around with recently that I think is even more effective, especially for the kind of stuff I do, is actually videoing yourself doing a task. And this might mean, you can't do this entire process at once. You might want to break it up into a series of videos. But if you click on the plus button and then click record a skill and then click start recording, Claude actually has a new feature. So it's listening to me right now. You can see the microphone's connected. If you connect a microphone, it can see your screen and hear you. So I might run through a workflow. So I might, be doing some data entry entry on a spreadsheet. And I'll be explaining, look, I'm writing this here because, I want to have my clients on the left and I want to have their amounts per month on the right and this. Or for example, if you're researching a video, you might want to say, oh, this is an outlier because of this. So my process is I search a term that's popular, let's say Claude, then I look for outliers, then I note them down, then I log it in a spreadsheet. You're just explaining how you do something, and Claude can also see with its visual capabilities what you're doing. And once you have finished that process, you click done, and it's going to create a skill automatically, and you can do as many videos as you want to add to the skill later on. If you just say, hey Claude, I want to add to this skill, I'm recording a new video, and you can also do this on GPT as well. You can essentially train, just like you train a real human employee, you can train the AI to do a task. I won't take up too much of your time on this specific example today because I just did a video on it. If you want the full guide to this, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's the video before this on the channel. I go through exactly how to do this from scratch in a more comprehensive guide. And by now you should have a series of skills which are trained exactly how to, essentially a clone, complete a task just like you would. So now let's move on to the next step 4 out of 6, which is creating a folder, which you should already have, but if you haven't, you can literally just ask AI to create a structured business folder for you. I'll make this a little bit bigger. I have a business brain folder, which has the memory of my business, the profile of my business. Every meeting I have gets synced into the folder. I use Granola. I have an automatic workflow to put my meetings into the folder, and it's all done with markdown files because it's easier for AI agents to read. Then I have Deutsche OS, which is for this video, where I have all of the specs for my company in a folder. So everything that we're working on today, all of the specs that we created that explain how something works, for example, the deal engine, in the form of a markdown file or in the form of a skill. So if you went through the skill process, it'll be a .skill file, but you can also ask Claude for the MD file as well. The MD file is just like the written text file. It's just a markdown file. The skill is optimized to be used as a /skill command, but skills at the end of the day are just text, so you can create markdown files with them. And you can have these files all in the one folder. Now, even though an AI can read these files super effectively and you pretty much don't need to do anything else, we aren't AI. We're humans and we learn in different ways. And the way that I find is best to use AI is to be able to visualize processes, because this is also the best way for me to be able to look at every single step of a process, for example, a deal process like this, and understand what is doing what. You can see all the purple links. So for the video engine, which is here, this is the deal engine. You can see Claude does the outlier scan. It pulls the transcripts. It gives me a summary of why a video worked. And then I have all of these ideas ranked, and then I just decide. So this yellow line here, my name's also in yellow, is where I need to step in and execute a process manually. So you could see what's AI and what's manual. So for every 5 AI tasks, there's 1 manual task. Then Claude gives me a bunch of title options. It designs the hook, and then I approve before it's recorded. So you can see all of the manual steps. It's the same with my deal process. So the team does the heavy stuff up front, and then AI does all of the next steps. This is slightly more manual, but AI also does the data enrichment. Whenever there's a specific tool which isn't Claude or GPT, I will highlight it in green. So you can see Clay is one tool that we use for deals. If I'm using Notion, or if I'm using HubSpot, or if I'm using another tool, it will be highlighted in green. And I find this is better, even though the AI will understand a markdown file. This is better for you. And at the end of the day, you need to oversee your processes. So you can actually have Claude on one screen, your processes on the other, and you can visually decide whether it's correct, and then you can get Claude to update the markdown files. So how do you create this map? Well, it's simple. All you need to do for every spec that we just created before, let's use the deal engine as an example, you just need to drag it into the same cowork folder, or you can use Claude Code, it'll access the same folder. Then you want to paste in this prompt. It'll be available in the starter kit in the description below. This is the exact spec for the maps that I like, that I think work the best visually and also work based on my experience using them. And I'm creating maps for everything. So I'm just showing you a few sample maps today, but I literally have maps for everything. I have maps for my funnels. I have maps to tell me how to get out of bed in the morning, go from the bed, brush your teeth. No, I'm kidding. But you can literally do it for everything. Anything within reason, anything where you think an AI can impact. And pretty much that's anything that can be done on a computer. Any task that you can do on your computer can be augmented with AI. And as I said before, the point of creating the maps, which by the way, this one's generating in the background right now, is to also be able to see where you're using AI. So this is manual, these tasks are AI. Or for videos, these are AI, this is AI, this is manual. Then it's AI, manual. So you could see that one task is broken down into a series of sub-steps. This is genuine IP that you can build for yourself in the business. The other thing it forces you to do is think more critically. It makes you, and AI can also help you with this, it makes you think, am I actually even conducting this process in the best way? Like, when I'm ideating or creating a video, am I even doing it in the best way? Could I train a skill better? Could I use another tool to find outliers? Or if I'm onboarding a client for my agency, are we onboarding them in the right way? Could the design process be quicker? Could we have automatic email follow-ups? Like, I do this regularly and I still find myself going, damn, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I automate this sooner? Why am I looking at meeting notes manually? Why don't I get messaged automatically in my email or on my Telegram, the summary after every meeting so I can just easily have them on the go? And why doesn't that just get sent into my business context folder? So then next time I'm prompting about my business, it knows the latest meeting that I've had with the team and it knows all the pain points in the business. Or why didn't I connect the Notion MCP to Claude so that Claude understands what videos have actually been done in the last 3 days on Notion? And then it can plug into the YouTube API or scan YouTube and see how many views that video got. So then the next time I'm ideating a video, it's more accurate because that has the real data. It forces you to think about all these things, thus forcing you to become more AI native, which is literally the goal of this channel and should be a goal of all of us right now, because it's such a huge advantage to be a pioneer and to be on the front foot in a space that most people still honestly are not utilizing properly and they're falling behind. But the people that are utilizing this and doing this stuff, they're getting ahead fast. They're the ones starting and scaling huge businesses, and they're the ones that, are crushing their own goals. So as you can see, and I use this on a new chat, by the way, using the prompt, it's created a brand new map. And if I click download and open, it's going to open it in Chrome and it's going to show me the exact process. Also, this is quite cool. It added the points where I need to review something. And if you hover over something, it shows you the other connections. It also shows you the exact steps on the right-hand side as well. Sorry if I'm covering it up a little bit. What you want to do is go back into Claude and you want to make sure, if you're on Cowork, you can literally just ask it, make sure to add it to the folder. If you actually have an instruction though, in your folder, so in your business folder, memory.md, it will actually say something along the lines of, every time there's a new asset created, make sure it's logged in the right place. So then you don't actually need to do anything because the memory is already there. Or you can just manually download it and add it to the database. And as I said before, if you want to then take the link of, the local file link, or if you want to deploy it as a website, you can then link it here. You can also, I guess, merge them all into one site. I like to keep them separate, but just so they're separate files, but you could obviously just merge them into one site, which basically has all of your workflows. But still, you're going to have them all in a list now. So you have your workflows. So now you have them created. Step 6 is to actually run them. So a fresh agent can execute the process for any task. Now, this obviously needs to be a separate video, or really I do this over time anyway, based on what topic it is. Because running a workflow, if it's a simple one, like maybe content, you can run it alongside what you're doing. So you can use the /skill that you've created and you could be like, hey, run this workflow. And you can go through this entire process with the AI and work alongside it. You can also run loops. I did a dedicated video on a loop. If it's something that's a bit more automatic, a process might loop. If there's something that's a bit more manual, you can have manual triggers. So whenever I drop this file in this folder, it triggers the contract creation, this, and this. Now, obviously, depending on the task you're doing, the tool might change. So you might want to consider running Claude Code on an automatic schedule to do stuff on your behalf. You might want to consider getting a separate Mac Mini so it's always on, so you don't have to use Dispatch on the go. You may even consider using a Hermes agent just to make the process, especially if you're not as AI native, a little bit more frictionless because it's got its own inbuilt memory. There are many ways to go about step 6, but the main thing is that you complete the first 5 steps so you actually have the data to feed the AI, because automating becomes easy. You can find workarounds for that once you have this. Once you have broken down a process into a series of steps, it's really as simple as giving it to Claude Code and saying, hey, start on this. And obviously there's adaptation over time. It's going to screw up. It's going to, hallucinate. There's going to be errors. There's going to be things which aren't optimal. It's going to give you bad outputs. This is where training comes in, and you always just want to update your skills at the end of every session. Even today, like I was, updating the way that these visuals look for the videos, and I just said, in future, I want the visuals to look like this. Save that. So the next time I do a video, it's slightly improved. And then when I get the data from this video, it can map out the retention. It can tell me how to improve the scripts. Not that this is that scripted. You can tell I'm kind of rambling. I'm very off script. In fact, I barely looked at my dot points the entire video, but you get the point. Maybe my videos would blow up more if I actually stuck to the scripts that the AI helped me create. But you get the point. I think This is the single most important thing you can do for your business. Break down your business into a variety of workflows, organize them in a filing system, and then update these skills and workflows over time. And if you can do that, you're going to be so far ahead of everyone else, because everyone else is just scrambling to learn AI, whereas this is the system to make AI sustainable. And it's a system where you can genuinely automate your work. And I'm at the point now where it kind of feels like I've got like Mars clones. Why? Because they're like cloned exactly on the information that I have given it and the exact process that I've given it. And now that we can do video tutorials as well, it's been a huge level up. So that's the video. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.